creek down in here that I can take you to see eventually, but I want to show you more or less like an aerial view. There's a beautiful house, a few houses out here with some elevators and whatnot in them, and another one. And there's a little area back in here that's the Pine Valley. It's real keen. But approaching Vandergrift proper here. Come whipping up on the swimming pool, Vandergrift swimming pool. The little park we have back in there. And the first business, this is Holland Avenue, so it's called the Holland Inn. Another gas station, it's kind of turned into a house. That's about that. And this is the Heights. It's like the highest point of Vandergrift. And it does go up just a little bit further, so I'll take you up where my girlfriend used to live and give you a real good shot. This is like the highest point of town. Here it's more or less like the heights on the hill here and the flatlands down below. That's what they call them anyway. So we're going to make a turn up what's called Howell Street. Get down an alley here because my girlfriend used to live here, and I found this incredible view. Wish I could get up into the bedroom. She doesn't live up here anymore. This is about as high up as Vandergrift goes. Scenic alleyway, huh? Kind of the panoramic view. You see we can get over to those hills and do even the rest of the town for that matter. That takes us to St. Gertrude's there where we see the steeples. And I've got even more to show you. Shooting directly downtown. See the steel mill on the left there and all. And the high rise. And the Methodist Church. Football field. The Little League field. Kennedy Park. Over here the elementary school. And St. Gertrude's, which in its own way is its own historic landmark. Now another shot. Okay, this time we will do it with a tripod, so it works a little bit better. Way over here in the distance, there's this really incredible house. I'll take you up and show you the back of it. Perhaps we could get permission to go in there if you'd need. But coming back and scoping out the town again. Up here, now the Mary Poppins view. Coal mines, basically. So the alleys are very steep, as you can see ahead of us. I'm not going to whip right through here. And hills and such too. But that's a treat. And down this way we go to part of a business section. Lots of places around here empty, for sale. You really ought to come and check out the town. One fire department, you see the siren on top. A lot of churches. St. Paul's Lutheran. And this is more or less the Heights. Something many people in Vandergrift really favor doing. That's just kind of kicking back and loafing. Now here's one of the schools that's empty. Right now this used to be the Wilson building. I guess it still is. Kind of store all the lots. Our newspaper's up in there. News Citizen, which is more of a printing company. This is a Oldsmobile shot. The Jackson Playground. Get down past here. We have a gazebo. Back in the 60s, I played a lot of rock music. Bands used to get a real kick out of playing here once in a while. Little League field we saw further up on the hill. Interesting apartment building. And right next to the Little League is the wheat field. And they're keeping up with that one. A lot of softball played here. And the tennis courts. And directly behind the tennis courts we have a basketball court. Getting a whole lot of use, but like I said, it's right behind the tennis courts. And behind that here we have a football field. Can you see it or not? Now there's the bleachers. The field's kind of right down there. Going up the other side of the tennis courts. And again the wheat field. Park. So you can see the structure of some of the homes. And the Little League. Of course the dugouts and all. And the gazebo from the other side. Now this over here, this Oldsmobile, Ferranti Olds, this is quite a sign at night. It looks like a Vegas kind of a sign. It's really about the only one in town that does that sort of thing, but still it's neat. And the Jackson Playground once again. This used to be the Harley shop. Now it's Don's Auto Sales. So, companies here. This is Dongai Lumber, the American Club. There's certainly no shortage of bars in this town. Uptown is named after poets, mostly. Hawthorne Street, Lowell Street, Poe. And they go on. Longfellow. Trees are real big in the flatlands here. We've got walnut and poplar, as you can see there. Alleys are all now named after numbers. I mean, 44th Street there. Downtown's all pretty much famous people. This takes us down a rather steep hill here that leads kind of to the back of the mill. Again, you can see the other hill on the other side that we can get a shot from, and I'll take you up there in a minute. Here calls it the new highway, although it's been here for about 15 years. The municipal building's up on top of the hill there. Over here, whether you can see it or not, it's a little village. Of course, in the fall, when the trees aren't so green, you can see through this even better. Coming up to like West Vandergrift again. The music in the background is my good friend Dan, D-A-N-N, that's the name he goes under. So it says Upper West Vandergrift and Lower West Vandergrift. So we're going to visit Lower West Vandergrift and get you kind of an aerial shot of what it all looks like. I'll take you down to this creek. I can't quite recall the name. Great place to eat right here, Carpinteri's. But this is Lower West Vandergrift. I'm going to show you a couple of views of Vandergrift from up here as well. Now, down beyond the trees here, there's one shot you can see of Vandergrift. Hyde Park and whatnot. That wouldn't be Hyde Park, that would be Riverview. Well, this is West Vandergrift again, the lower West Vandergrift portion. I'm taking you down to the infamous creek here. I have to get down Alabama Avenue to get down there, but we'll take you. We got some real ruralistic looking things here. It'd be easiest if I took you on a tour here. That's the sewage plant over there. This is somebody's property. A speed bump, okay.
Continent has fallen in disgrace. William Rogers put it in its place. But in Zealand's motor plant, caravans and dogs and child. The names of all are singing, crying, singing hideously. You're a ghost. Yes, you're a ghost.
It's more of a four-wheel drive kind of a place, really. I don't think we'll be crossing the creek here. It's probably going to be too severe. But if you have four-wheel drive, you can definitely do it. This is the creek anyway. With four-wheel drive, it can be done. But while we're here, we might as well get a shot, right? We're not stuck in the mud, that is. Okay. Get spun around here a bit. Awfully bright and sunny today. We've got the creek here and upstream. Like I said, when you do go four-wheeling here, you can definitely cross. Work your way up and out of here. Right down to like the water treatment plant and all. And then up to the top of the highway, which is more or less at the top of the hill there. Takes you back up to the highway. We can sort of see down into here. Well, working our way back up out of the creek, and I don't know why I can't remember the name of this. It's not Beaver Run. Well, this is the road we're taking. There's the water pollution plant over here. The sewage plant. Well, can't quite make it out from down here, but we'll get to it. This is one of the best songs that Dan has written in the background here. It's called The Beast in the Machine. It's about credit cards and basically how things are becoming more and more automated. Actually, this is coming up the backside of the little, small town of West Vandergrift. Lower West Vandergrift, as they say. We actually have an upper West Vandergrift, of course. And we've got East Vandergrift and North Vandergrift. We'll be getting to those as the day wears on here. Brings us that house I showed you up on the hill. And you see the heights first. as we work our way down into town, coming around this particular bend, you see the sign, of course, that says "Welcome to Vandergrift," and over here you pick up none other than the mill. Which again, a lot of times the top of these trees, which, you know, they've been removed. I don't know if they could be done again, but there's the Kiskiminitis River down below us here. And dead ahead is the United Methodist Church. I've done about 5 plays there. They know me real well. We come in past the wall, which has had absurd amount of graffiti on it. On the left you'll see Adams Elementary School and the football field, of course, on the right, which I've shown you before from up above. But Adams is now deserted. This is the American Legion with the cannon and all. It's a neat look at Vandergrift when you're entering it, though. Solomon's Tires. Like anywhere else in the work area. This is where 56 more or less meets up with 66. Another way you can get into town. See the houses. And up here we've got the first of many curves in the street. Looking up the street and looking down the street. Some of the shops and Sears and the banks and the phone company, and again the back of the municipal building. And there's the Vandergrift Historic Monument business. And working our way up through town one more time. And once again the curved buildings of beautiful downtown Vandergrift. You know, most of the people in these businesses, a lot of businesses are gone. Concentrate on that in just a moment here. We get you to the top of town and bring you back down one more time. So Grant Avenue, what's the main street of town, because it's of course the big business section. We're going to go to the top of the street and turn around. The traffic's a little bit heavy today. So we'll go up the street here and I'll let you take a good look at probably one of the best loved churches, whether you belong to it or not, in town. It's just such a spectacle. Here's St. Gertrude's. Old Vandergrift fire station. Directly across St. Gertrude's. To the back. It became a historical monument before the town did, actually. There aren't usually buses and garbage trucks sitting here. And back here is an incredible path. Call this Old Lady's Path. Goes down into East Vandergrift. See it wandering through the woods here. And there's East Vandergrift and the Kiskiminitis River. Straight ahead there. On the other side of the river is North Apollo. Peering through the bushes here. East Vandergrift. Now in the fall, this is all not so green naturally. You can see through it even that much better. We have some old shots from the fall. I'll try to let you see them. It's kind of a glimpse of East Vandergrift. Take you down there in a little while. It's another church. Another shot of East Vandergrift. Nearly atop the same hill here. And North Apollo. The ultimate view is straight down the alley here where one of my very best friends lives. Stephen Laconic. Right behind that church. We'll be there in just a moment. And one last peek at more or less the back of the sides of St. Gertrude's. 2. Bridge.
What are you
Hi
doing?
there. Truman, how you doing?
Oh, not too bad.
That's good. Yep,
I don't know, I guess you have to cut them down to the roots.
probably.
You know.
We used to be able to really see a panoramic view of everything down
Yeah.
here. We must have just gone up the hill and come back down. It's like that road going back to Avamore. That must be about 5 miles away. Was that 819 or something like that? Tornado hit over there. You can hardly tell after these years.
Yeah.
Top of that hill. Did you see any of it when it was here? Because I know John was.
Yeah, I saw debris flying up in the air in East Vandergrift.
Wow.
John saw the funnel,
That's what he said. Yeah. Boy, did I wish I had left my camera here that day, because he had it the day before me.
Yeah. And I just saw everything, you know, just was flying away in all kind of places.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I just thought it was a storm, and here John said it's a tornado. He saw it, the tail end of it. You know?
Right. Well, I had my camera here that day, and I had stopped by to pick it up that morning, and I didn't get any shots down on the set anyway because of the tornado hitting down there too. It came right up the set when we were ready to go to lunch, and then it made a turn and went up into Natrona Heights and wiped out that giant eagle and all. There's a school bus. North Paula there. Top of the hill, yeah, okay, I see him now.
So I got another prescription, but he told me to make arrangements, and I'm so scared, you know.
Sure.
Well, my lungs aren't that strong yet.
Really, I can imagine. It
Yeah,
hasn't been that
it's
long.
4 months, you know, since I've been operated.
Is that what it's been?
Yeah, I will be tomorrow, on the
Jeez.
2nd. But I could feel that, you know, that I'm not that strong. Oh, I said, if it's not one, maybe I'm getting ready to die, Rick.
You never know. Happens to everybody.
I said,
And that's the front porch of Steve's house, which is right overlooking East Vandergrift and the alley again. And another one of our churches. The mayor's home. It's also a Dunmire Kerr funeral home. Mayor James B. Kerr is the funeral director of Dunmire Kerr. And more glimpses of East Vandergrift through the trees. And my beast sitting at the top of the alley because we can't get down the alley right now. Working our way back past St. Gertrude's again. This is the nunnery. And a really great Virgin Mary statue. And the front of St. Gert's. See? And the school. Priest lives. Great school. People. Right on the next block is what is now the Vandergrift Elementary School. And the school from the side. Ready to let out, of course. Out of St. Gertrude's Towers. The Twin Towers, huh? On the front of the school. They've just reopened this and made it the elementary school. This is Brady Klein Funeral Home. Pretty nifty place. As we reach the top of Franklin Avenue, one of the longest streets in Vandergrift. Wayland Super Value and the Sons of Italy Hall, which doesn't have a whole lot going on. That'd be a good place to film if you need a hall for anything. And then up here we've got Vanguard Bank, we've got Solomon's there, which is now turned into sort of a fast food place, the Hancock Inn. This is Hancock Avenue. Actually back up in the Heights once more. Heading up Hancock, which is the longest street in Vandergrift. That old lady's path I was telling you to go through EV winds up on one of these streets eventually. And we plug our way up the hill to the Vandergrift Cemetery. There's a Protestant and a Catholic cemetery at the top of the hill. We should go visit each. So I know how much you like cemeteries. I don't know if you need one in this Stephen King project you're telling me about or not, but there's an empty grocery store and a pizza parlor that's also empty, although it looks like somebody may be doing something with it. I'm just saying, all sorts of things. There's a monument company, or have they gone out of business too? I guess they're not there anymore. Well, it's just like a house. And a tanning salon that's now out of business. Over the side here, you ought to be able to see the town. The cemeteries on the right, the Protestant cemetery, you can barely see here, and the Catholic cemetery on the left. There's actually two entrances into this bear. St. Gertrude Memorial Cemetery, so yes, it goes along with. Did come close to a wreck. I wonder if that's on film. It's easy enough to do when you're not holding a camera. Yes, my film crew didn't work out real good today. So I'm up here by myself doing all this because I want to get this to you before you take off or anything. There's more of the cemetery. Go over this way, see if we can catch it all above the trees. It says one way do not enter, but what are you going to do? Alright, there we go. An incredible shot of Vandergrift from up on top of it. See the mill there? See St. Gertrude's over to the one side. Zoom in a little. There's the mill dead center of the picture. And St. Gertrude's from way up on top here. Working our way out. Over to the left of the picture here is West Vandergrift, where we shot the other shots from. And directly ahead of us once more. Well, I guess we can't see it. I thought we could. Is the house. That's not it right there. I'm trying to figure out what the heck that is right now. But there's the river and the Vandergrift Foundry. They do trim these trees, so there'll be a better view in the fall, by all means. It's a tasty little view. Let's back up and do that one again. That's the junkyard down on the lower right-hand side. I think we can get out through the trees to get you a better view at all. The white building there is the junior high school. And coming back into St. Gertrude's and working our way back over to West Vandergrift. But you can see the aerial possibilities, without going up in a plane even. But St. Gertrude's is a neat cemetery. This takes in, it's called Oklahoma back here in Washington Township, which are almost like suburbs of Vandergrift. This is an incredible one. Again, the Catholic cemetery, St. Gertrude's Cemetery here in beautiful downtown Vandergrift. Donguys, Butcher Grossies, Calderons, Carpentieri's, I'm sure the restaurant connected, Corrado's, very big Italian section living in the Heights. East Vandergrift is primarily a Polish and Slavish area, although it's getting to be a bit Italian as well, and some Hungarian. North Vandergrift is very heavily black. And downtown's kind of a mixture of everybody. It used to start, town started out more or less as a mining community as well as a steelworking community. And here's St. Joe's Chapel. Rolling by right now. Right down to the main highway here. Out of the cemetery with the Protestant cemetery driveway on the other side and the top of Hancock, which used to be incredible to take your bike down when you were a little kid. Squeezing out of the one cemetery and into the other cemetery. This is the big Protestant side of the Vandergrift Cemetery. See all the Tims up in here and down in here. Again, I'm not real sure what you're looking for. It'd be easier to let you see, you know, what all I have. But I'm going to show you such scenic places as Lover's Leap, which more or less overlooks Leechburg than it does Vandergrift. But you can see Vandergrift in the background, and Hyde Park, that's the place I told you looks a little like a railroad village under a Christmas tree. This is part of Oklahoma on the back of. Vandergrift golf courses out there. And another kind of a straight-on view coming up. I'm going down the Kiski River. I'm looking into Riverview. And there's the shopping center, and all straight out that way with the divided highway. So we are out there. I'm cutting across the cemetery. Flags and all. It is right just past Memorial Day and everything. Straight ahead here we do see Vandergrift. So here we've got a shot for you. It's definitely worthwhile. This is kind of the upper West Vandergrift view once more. Like I said, we are kind of in the heights. Let's spin around here and see what we can find for you. Bush. Gallagher. There we go. Let's take a walk. Actually, this would be Apollo. Cut. Actually, this would be Apollo. You get from it from the top of the Vandergrift Presbyterian Protestant Cemetery, and straight on around. Like I'm saying, there's some very good panoramic shots that can be picked up here. Totally unraped by Hollywood. Here's the entrance to the Catholic Cemetery, down by where the truck is. And over to the left here, there is an area that I can take you down into right now and give you yet another view of Vandergrift. Sort of an adjunct cemetery where my grandmother is buried. I'll take you down around this road. Tasty little view coming through the trees, rolling down on a little concrete way out of the cemetery. A couple of sort of different looking stones here. There's Hancock Avenue down below us, and the entrance of the gate of where we're going right now. But first, it's back down around the side of this bear. This is a heck of a place to get into and out of. You really need a security cop of some sort just to get the traffic in and out of this place. Okay. Welcome to Vandergrift, it says on the sign down there, as you can plainly see, but we're going in once again to this other part of St. Gertrude Cemetery. So, boy, it smells nice here too, I have to admit. Very cool kind of a place. Doing some work on it today. My grandmother's buried right in this area here. More guys doing work here than just about anything else today. That's okay. Some tops of the roofs. On the side of the cemetery. And the big cross that comes up there at the end. As you can see. But the road takes a nasty turn here to the left and swings down. Again, the trees are too far in the way, but not to get a shot of where we just were. I'll back up a hair. This is where we were just filming, so I'm just saying there's a variety of different types of views you can get around here. Bottom part of the road. Shooting up the hill. Working our way back out of the cemetery. Here we are. This car's performing amazingly well. I mean, I'm up to 138,000 miles every time I take it in to get it fixed. The mechanic says, don't get rid of it yet. Not if you're going to run it to death to Pittsburgh and back. So I don't. And going back on in to Vandergrift, it says, welcome to Vandergrift.
Funds are used for the purposes authorized, that funds are economically and efficiently used, and that obligations and expenditures...
And you can see the other hillside. Again, this is coming back down Hancock Avenue. Like I said, the steepest kind of a street in Vandergrift. Here's the deserted Tropatan, which is also for sale. See Sue, it says. Which is better than being sued. And the Golden Dawn, which is for rent. And former Doody's Pizza Parlor. Well, that one says open June 4th. Maybe they are reopening. It used to be the cheapest place in town to get, you guessed it, beer. And various different shots of the heights. There's all coal mines underneath there. And again, coming straight down Hancock. I'm going to take you over to the north side of the river. Let you see what that's like. Julio's Italian Specialties. Boy, do they make some great food there. I don't mean it's time for a commercial, it's just that they do, and I'm just bringing that to your attention. One of the only lights in Vandergrift. There's another one. And again, we're on Hancock Avenue, rolling down into Vandergrift. When we get to the bottom of the street, you'll see the dummy, as they call it. And we're back on 66 and 56 once more. The houses. And Washington Avenue. Only this time we're going to take Washington off of Custer. It's McKinley. And go up past the church, which you've seen before, First Presbyterian. Roll around this way. And swing down through town. Okay, swinging around the bend here. Now go straight down the street here. This is the world famous Hideout restaurant, bar. And the Hideout is where there supposedly was a murder. One ended up becoming kind of hamburgerized. The back alley and the alley I live down, which is 4th Street. But here, this is what I want to show you, the post office. Which is its own quaint kind of a building. Well, of course, it's still in operation. And here's another look at the Main Street, Grant Avenue and all. And the 5 and 10, which is also deserted. Well, back here, they had one incredible fire. The man's life, Charlie the Birdwatcher, who was kind of a town fixture. Here's the area that burned. And it was quite a vicious fire. It took out 4 different buildings, 4 different businesses, I should say, at the back of the post office. And you see the streets curved here too. We've got 4-Star Pizza, we've got all you need Ludlam Still directly ahead of us and straight up to the Casino Theater once more. But down here, a lonely railroad station, not doing a single thing. Oh, I take it back. It says Sunrise Enterprise. Well, it must be something new. God only knows what it is. But the track works its way down here and straight across the river. Weeping Willows and all, you see North Vandergrift. This is Spaniel's Beer Distributor. Like a typical little Pittsburgh in its own way. It is the Vandergrift Bridge. And there's the famous Rolling Rock in the truck. And we're working our way up the back alley of Sherman Avenue here. Going into North Vandergrift. And almost getting hit by a car, but hey, they didn't see me. I'm filming, right? This is driving up the back alley. It's like directly across the street from where I live. Still trying to get you some of North Vandergrift in there. Well, it's working its ways in between the trees, but it is there. I'm going to take you up on these hills so you can get yet another look at Vandergrift. I have plenty of time to do this right now since I went out to work on Night of the Living Dead the last time you saw me, and when I went back to work, well, I didn't have a job, so no big deal. Something else will come along. For 5 years, if they don't know I make movies, that's their problem. You're seeing glimpses of North Vandergrift and the Kiski-Minitis River, which horseshoes around Vandergrift from the North Vandergrift side to the East Vandergrift side. And like I said, I'll get you up into these trees. Again, the back alley of Vandergrift. I'm taking you down to the United Engineering Foundry Plant, which is what it used to be called, and it became Ween United, where my dad worked. And there's that house up there again, right on top of North Paula. You see it back there? Of course you can. Still can't completely figure out what it is, but whatever it is, we'll let you know here. This is going to take us down into the Ween United area, which is a deserted foundry. One of those places I was hoping that if we ever got to do anything like King's Graveyard Shift, we could film down there. See the farmhouses and all? Not the farmhouses, I should say the meal houses. This used to be a very prosperous mill town. And ultimately and eventually I want to take you in here. The battery's kind of running out of power, but the plant is directly over the bridge here. It's now, that's that big gray area there. I'll get you some shots from down on the railroad tracks and everything too. This is all overgrown here. There used to be a playground back in here where I practically grew up. Some great places down off the railroad tracks too. Coming up the alley again, there's a playground on the other side of the fence, and there's a factory behind it, very deserted. Little cool tree. Played a lot of basketball here, and some great cliffs. Really excellent. Cliffs down here that go behind East Vandergrift, and I'll take you down onto those tracks and everything. Some glimpses of the river and all. This is the Vandergrift dump, although you can't really see it now, but you see where they did unload a lot of pieces of steel and things like that, really giant wasted turtle shells or something. But I'll show you it from the other side. We're going to have to take a walk to do that. And straight ahead again is St. Gertrude's. You can get in here through the gates. Let's take you right back. We sort of circle around Vandergrift and all. Just a few more shots of downtown before we take you to East Vandergrift and North Vandergrift. By car and then on foot. Now we're going to have to turn around here because, like you can see, they're working here. Trying to build 3 lanes out of 2. And that's the cemetery. That's where we were at the top of the peak of the hill there. Into the backswing of that deserted playground I told you about. And the neighborhood where I did a lot of my growing up in. Excuse me, because Sherman Avenue really starts here. John's kids. And this is the house I did much of my growing up in. 284 Sherman Avenue. Another dog there. And making our way back down Sherman Avenue. That alley I took you down has been actually traveling along those row houses. The apartment building here burned down. And there's Lafayette Avenue, which is in one of the cars. This used to be Byers Supermarket, which they tore down. And cruising down Sherman past Hamilton Avenue. Deserted elementary school, where I went to 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. Went up to 4th, but I went to Catholic school in 4th grade. Nothing in here. They made some kind of condominiums over there. and the United Free Gospel and Missionary Society. Here's my old store, Rick's Rack. And my mom lives upstairs here. I live in the back, and we're sort of winding our way into my house. There's Stop and Go, Touchka's Arco. The stop sign which goes across the Vandergrift Bridge, and my apartment. If you look close straight up the alley there, what do you see? None other than St. Gertrude's Towers once again. So you can see them pretty much from everywhere around here. At one point or the other, I'll take you on a walking tour of my store. This is the view looking down the alley of the Vandergrift Bridge. And we'll go over that way to more or less see North Apollo. I have an appointment in Apollo right now, so we'll take care of that. And there's the new Vandergrift sign. It's first worker-owned planned industrial town. It says, crossing the Vandergrift Bridge here, going into North Vandergrift. You see Leechburg, Kittanning, Apollo. And down the river, there's that house on top of the hill again. And entering North Vandergrift. Like I said, this is primarily a black community. There's the flood mark on top of the building there. It's as high as the 36 flood got, which is what prompted them to bring the Kittanning Crooked Creek Dam into existence. There's that house on top of the hill. Pull over here a minute. It's another deserted school. I don't know if you need any of those in this new film or not, but there's another one. And some of the houses around the area. Here's Vandergrift again over here through the trees. You usually have a better view. I'm not so used to seeing so much green. I guess it's just the season right now too. In the fall, you can see through these trees. Here's the deserted foundry, what you can make of it. Back there again. Does that help a little? My dad put 52 years into that bear. Queen United from the other side. We're going to take a walk down, more or less past a lot of that and see it kind of close up. The old bend in the river. And we are getting closer to the house on top of the hill, which is just about directly above us here on this hill. We'll take this gravel bar road, which is its own trip. Go up there. See what happens next. This is more or less North Apollo, and yet more of the back of the Vandergrift Foundry. As everybody called it. Although, like I said, it did become Wheat United. I think these things are neat. This is where I get my car done. Cressetti's, Texaco. And there's St. Gert's out there in the distance. Yet more of the foundry. Dairy Queen, Apollo Milling, car washes. And straight at the top of this hill here is the cemetery, where I had you before. And the area you can see from the back of Steve's house. St. Gertrude's and all. UPS. North Apollo, and like I said, I'll take you to the top of the hill. There's the house up there again. See it up there? New drum shop. Midtown Plaza, which big features the Salvation Army store. More of St. Gertrude's and East Vandergrift, the back of East Vandergrift. We're now kind of bypassing North Apollo. And we're seeing parts of the Kiskiminitis River and East Vandergrift. Really good hoagie shop back here, a privately owned place. The Ballerina skating rink, which has been here, I think, before God. And we're coming into Apollo here now, at the top of the North Apollo main part of town. There's a few bars, post office, a fire department, some neat houses. Working our way down into Apollo. See, it says Apollo welcomes you, and there's a moon and whatnot. Because Apollo there's a great junkyard down here too. Apollo is in Armstrong County, and when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon as part of the Apollo project, well, you can figure it out. This is a real slum town. They call it Pig Town. Really poor people lived there most of the time. I don't know what it's like now, but that's how it had been. And this is Apollo, PA, cruising down Warren Avenue. Some real great areas around here to be filming if you're looking for kind of country-esque type places. This is a great song that Dan wrote called Video Amplifier. This is all original stuff. Babcock and Wilcox, a big nuclear kind of a plant. In fact, we had a few spills around it. We have fish down at Allegheny Ludlam in Leechburg, which is about 5 miles down the river, that guys say they can't make out what they are. They crawl out of the water and walk. I mean, probably a bunch of vicious rumors, but hey, you never know. Radiation and all. Remember, that's how Night of the Living Dead started. It sort of bypasses Apollo. We'll take you through the main part. See Chang's Oriental Restaurant, an incredible Oriental restaurant. That's what these people are going right here. Really, really good Chinese food. Comparable to a place I'm thinking of in Shadyside. And this is Apollo, downtown. Almost become like a giant, not a mall, what do I want to say, like a shopping center kind of a town. Working its way up the street here. Big church, funeral home, junior high school. On up the hill, a real cool park. And the church where I'm going right now, where we did Jesus Christ Superstar back in about '73. To a demand performance. Did it one time and got a demand performance to do it again. Come to the Pentagon, come to the party, it says. Huh? And this is a beautiful church where I'm going right now. Little corner down an antiquated way. We have a person just sitting there waiting for whatever. Hi there. And we're going down through Apollo now, coming down from the church. And this is the Apollo Bridge. Chambers Hotel. There are a few hotels around here that could put up a crew. There's a Days Inn in Lower Burrell. And well, here's the other side of the shopping center. Stop and go and whatnot. Across the bridge here, and you've got Hancock Avenue up on top of the picture here. Remember, it says the longest street coming out of Vandergrift. This is a highly unique bridge here. It's one of those bridges with a floor that you can kind of look down through. But we get another glimpse of the river here. As you can see, the Kiski River running down into East Vandergrift. Over here, there's a real neat railroad bridge way down the river here, which I'll take you out to. I don't know if you can see if there's bars or not. I'll take you out to. Yeah, there it is. There's a big boy. Yeah, that's right. Take us out here, huh? Well, we're going to run down the railroad track here and into East Vandergrift. Kind of going out this way. And I'll take you by foot through here as well. Whoops, sorry about that. Kind of the outskirts running along the Kiski River, which is pretty high right now from where he thinks of Van. There's the Apollo Bridge once more. On the back of the old folks' home. Going up on the railroad tracks, which are now just one track. There used to be two, but they're looking straight down the railroad. Now that's what I'm going to bring you. The path I want to take you through is right up here, right above the boulders here. I know you can't see it, but it's right up in there, and there's some really nice visual areas up in there that look kind of haunting, spooky, however you want to put it. But the path runs right through there. I know this looks just like a typical, everyday, ordinary road. Again, in the fall, with these trees out of here, you can see the river, not the trees, but the greenery. You can see right out of there. And right up along these cliffs and everything, there's really neat paths and mines. There's a along those areas. That first house you see in front of us is none other than the beginning of the outskirts of East Vandergrift here, running along the Kiski-Menedis, again on that horseshoe curve of the Kiski River. And up above us there is the junior high school, now the elementary school of Vandergrift. What we're looking at here, we are in East Vandergrift. Now, next month, in June, they'll be having ethnic days, which is quite a celebration. Even KDKA comes out. And I mean, the food is just incredible, and it lasts, and there's partying and dancing in the streets, and that whole 9-yard kind of thing. So, here we are in beautiful downtown East Vandergrift. Like I said, very big, very Polish, Slavish community. So my father's from. Although my father grew up in America. He was born on a ship going back to Czechoslovakia. Our last name was Bielak at the time before it became Americanized. I guess B-I-E-L-A-K. Up those steps there is where the path is, and we'll show you what that's like going through the back of East Vandergrift, more or less. Really incredible shots of the hill and a lot of places you can get up into. But you're going down little McKinley Avenue. Now this too used to be a school, and no, it's not deserted. It's turned into the Kiski Full Gospel Worship Center. I don't know how busy they really are. And another church. This is where I went to 4th grade and took my Holy Communion and all that business. The one year when I decided to be real Catholic, my dad was Catholic, my mother was Protestant. She went to a Hungarian church, which eventually went out of business and all. This will lead us up out of East Vandergrift. And the fire hall where we were shooting is right at the top of the picture here. You can see the brick building behind the White House. That's the fire hall, and our road is right up this driveway here. I'll kind of lead back here. Like I said, we'll get you a shot of all of this. And East Vandergrift's over on our right. This is E.V. Lane. Like I said, my dad was born in Czechoslovakia because his mom and dad took a cruise back to see their relatives and all. And my grandmother was pregnant, so my dad was born on ship. So when he was 21, he had to declare his citizenship and everything. They came to America and moved to Chicago, and they eventually worked their way east and settled here in Vandergrift. My mother's family, his name was Matu, M-A-T-U, and they got Americanized to Matu, M-A-T-T-U, back in the same alley. Tom Jarris's house is here. He's one of your biggest fans. Night of the Living Dead is the only movie that's ever scared him, and this guy has a collection of more gore and horror movies than anyone I've ever met in my entire life. But a big fan. So just down the alley, what do we find? Our big White House one more time up on top of the hill here through the fence. Getting closer, huh? But again, we're back down behind the caves and everything, which, like I said, I'll take you to. So please bear with me. But my mom's family moved to Leechburg. Her dad worked a lot of different jobs. He was a coal miner, former tobacco plantation owner in Hungary. And they met up in one of the local bars here. It used to be called the Liberty Beer Garden, a very kind of a German-esque beer garden place. You know, and we're back on Sherman Avenue again, which you've been to before. If you recall, I told you I grew up and lived primarily in this house here. Okay? So there you go. But now, well, this is Lafayette. You can see the houses and all. It's not that big that, you know, we can't just go around at a time or two, but even in the streets here there are these islands, these garden type places. When I was little, they didn't have so much flower to them at all. They were great places to play football. And there's Tom Jarris's house. Like I said, he's a very big fan. And here's where Franklin meets Hamilton, and again another big island, a lot of curvature, and the beginning of East Vandergrift Lane. As we said, they're under construction. Since the elementary school is now the original junior high school, there's more buses coming up out of East Vandergrift, and they have to more or less accommodate those buses. There's St. Gertrude's once more, and we're back at the top of Grand Avenue. You know, our driving tour here of Vandergrift. One more time. There's the bank. right up on that porch there where we shot the parade. Okay? Linda Cyberling's house, a good friend of mine. Beautiful downtown Vandergrift, coming down Grant Avenue. See, there's this and that shop is empty, and beautiful bar over there. Here's the 5 and 10. It's like I said, so very empty. Here's where the fire was. These places are all more or less empty now. Save Right. At the back here, we've got VFW. This is Farragut Avenue. We've got Sumner. No, so this is Sumner Avenue. We got Farragut, Washington, Sherman, Jefferson, Lincoln, Hamilton, Franklin. All the famous people, like I said, that kind of make up the downtown section of Vandergrift. There's the back of Spaniel's beer distributor again. Another great big building that used to be a supermarket that's empty. I'm saying, you know, there's so much here. It's totally untapped, totally unraped, if you will. And the bridge again, where it says 66 alternate. See the bridge once more. And stop and go in my old place. It used to be Rick's Rack. I'll take you in there in just a moment. Started out running a record store back when you knew me in Night Riders and everything, and I was being a blacksmith and running this place. And I kind of got converted into a head shop, more by popular demand than just about anything else. And the front of the house, which is pretty barren right now. Again, the bridge is over here. And I'm going to take you up in these hills here by car above North Vandergrift and get another shot. You can't see it now, but again, you can in the fall. And you can see the houses back in there. Just about everything. Looking down Sherman Avenue here, right by Stop and Go. And all this cars going across the bridge right now. But it's the same. This is the front lawn. And one of the old stores we had. My aunt Peg ran a second-hand shop. It's real small. This is where I originally opened up my record store. Black lights, posters, incense, all that kind of garb. Stop directly up the street. St. Gertrude's in the background. My car in the driveway. And again, my apartment. My mom lives upstairs. It's a pretty large building, as you can see, but it's pretty vacant right now. Just storage area for, like I said, my aunt's place. Our little tree here. Mom's very little flower garden. Well, she has flowers here and there, and sometimes down there. But this is my place, my old store, old door here. This is what the tornado did to the roof.